Today I got called the FGGOT by some 13-year-olds. I'm out walking my dogs and stop at this corner to let them pee, and suddenly hear some shouting coming a few blocks away. I looked around and didn't see anyone, so I ignored it and started walking my dogs again, and then I hear someone shout, "If you're walking your two dogs you're AFGGOT, what?" I look around again and see these two 13-ish-year-olds standing about 3 blocks down looking at me, waving their arms and yelling faggot, so I start walking towards them and of course they take off running. By the time I get to their street they are gone. I figured there was no way I'd find them, so I just turned around and started walking back. Then the stupid kids reveal themselves to be in the yard right beside me and start throwing things at their fence to scare my dogs and continue calling me AFGGOT. So I just go up to the front porch and start ringing the doorbell. No one answered at first and I heard someone lock the door. I thought they were just home alone, so I was just going to stand there till someone came out, but I rang 2 more times and finally a dad answered the doors. So I told him everything that happened and he was pissed lol. He yelled for his son and told him his friend was leaving, right the FCK now, and started apologizing. I've never seen those kids before in my life. Response 1.
Good on the dad to actually take at least some responsibility for his child's actions.
I feel like a lot of parents these days wouldn't be as quick to do so. Which makes me sad.
It probably wasn't the first time those kids had done something like this.
That doesn't stop a lot of parents from believing their kid is a perfect angel, and the schools and people complaining about their behavior are just all lying.
To me it's more of the fact that most parents aren't parents, more bank accounts and food tickets. The actual raising of the child and motivating them is usually done more so by the teachers, most notably sport coaches that are with the kids 4+ years. The coach has more time with the kid than the parent does, and since the coach has to train them to do well in the sport, they push them harder so the kid respects them more. Well, that's what I heard from an older college student that was a high school coach. He would get requests from the parents for him to push the students to go after AP honors courses and try to ask them what they wanted to do when they were older, instead of asking their own child themselves. While it's only one incident that I have heard of, I could see it happening more times than I expected. Some parents, however, don't know how to deal with their child when they are wrong, so they convince themselves when their child does something wrong that they in fact actually didn't because reason.
Dude, it's not that bad. Everything will be okay. Relax and take a deep breath.
Response 2.
I recently got bullied by a 6-year-old kid. I was walking on a sidewalk area next to a playground and this little kid was swinging on the swings and hopped off and started walking towards me. He started asking me what I was doing in his playground and told me to keep walking, cracker. He said if I came through again he'd whoop up on me. No fucking lie. There was nobody else around, nobody was watching him that I could see. I'm 33 years old. What the fuck do you do in that situation? I just kept walking like he said. I got punked down by a damn 6-year-old.
It's actually really sad that a 6-year-old feels like he's gotta act that way. Imagine the role models in his life.
Quote, imagine the role models in his life. What role models?
His mom's 8 sugar daddies.
His mom's 8 sugar baby daddies.
Are casual racist.
Plot twist, the kid was white.
Response 3.
Kids that age are such assholes. It wasn't as bad as that, but I was driving home late one night over the summer and some kids started throwing LED balls at my car from the side of the road. I decided to pull a U-turn and I'm pretty sure it scared the shit out of them.
Yeah, they always expect people to just not do shit about it. The second they realize you are going to talk to them though, lol. Yes. Talk with them.
Response 4.
Glad you found them and the dad dealt with them. I know if my kid was doing something like that I would want to know about it. But, let me tell you, don't ever go on Xbox Live.
Quote, but, let me tell you, don't ever go on Xbox Live. Oh, enjoy the sweet, sweet justice.
Oh man, that was so good. That last kid shut up real quick.
Response 5.
Some kid called me fat once. I'm maybe chubby, def not fat. I responded, at least I'm not poor. My friends got mad at me, but that little fucker deserved it. I don't care if you're 10 and I'm 34, if you're talking to me I'm talking right back.
Maybe someday you can buy that horn.
Response 6.
When I was 17, I drove a cherry red Firebird. It was so fucking sweet. I was driving home from school one day and these two kids in the neighborhood to the left of the road I was driving on proceeded to throw rocks at my sweet ass car. I pulled the dopest fast and the furious U-turn and started driving right towards their house. They ran straight inside and shut the door. I went up to the house, knocked on the door and one of the kids' dad opened the door. I told him what happened and he made the kid come to the door and apologize. I told the kid, who looked to be in middle school, "I'm only 17, so I'm not legally an adult yet. If you ever do that again, I won't go straight to your door. I'll come straight to you and whoop your ass." Dad just stood there. Kids are assholes.
The dad missed a perfect opportunity to say, "You fuck with the bull, you get the horns."
You fuck with the bird, you get the fire.
Response 7.
I followed some kids who were throwing things onto the interstate traffic from a bridge above it. Called the cops, who went the house they went in. The kids were there. The cop came over to my vehicle and said, "They said they didn't do it."
And another day goes by with no paperwork to be filed. Well done, boys.
Response 8.
This reminds me of an episode of Louie, except a little less depressing.
That episode was great. I liked how it showed a little bit wrong with everyone. Lewis assumed that the kid was an asshole for no reason, and then also assumed the dad was a terrible person for wanting to hit his kid. The kid was obviously being really rude. The dad wanted to be a good father but couldn't help but get angry. The girl Lewis was with judged him for not starting a fight for no good reason, even if she wouldn't admit it. Everyone was flawed in their own way. It was depressing but really interesting.
Response 9.
13-year-olds are about the worst age for shit like this. I found your post hilarious though in just how immature they are. It's somehow hysterical how just completely asinine some kids are willing to be to complete strangers. Winking face.
Response 10.
A group of 8-year-olds ran hour in front of my car. I slam on my brakes and I yell out, "Careful guys. Use the crosswalk." One of them straight up stops in the street and yells, "Get out and fight me, old man." I started laughing so hard. Almost instant tears, and this kid got so red in the face and pissed I just laughed harder and harder and he stomped his way off the street. Good times.
Response 11.
Bless your heart for telling the parent. I would so want to know if my son ever did anything like that.